Now let's take a look at the pound dollar for the upcoming November the 5th session. Again, like all these pairs, we had one trade that triggered and stopped us out, right there for about 60 some pips. And then we had another trade that triggered and took us in, and that ran up here, well, let's just say for 90 plus pips. So, it was a rough day, back and forth, but we've had some fairly sensational days. And a lot of times folks go, well, how can you stand losing? And saying losing's okay. Hey, losing is okay. Trading is not about winning 100% of the time. Do you know what I know about me having a losing trade? Is that my winning trade is right around the corner. That's the way you folks need to think about it. You can't avoid losing trades. When they do happen and the market hands them to you because of the probabilities that exist out there in the market, then just know that your winning trade, your next one, is right around the corner. So that's what happened. Look, you got stopped out here. Your next winning trade, it was right around the corner. Maybe you were stopped out on this trade and you didn't get back in. That's okay. Your next trade, right around the corner. That's what we're going to be looking for tonight. Now the pound dollar's got a beautiful trend line going on here, and we're going to take this one and kind of change it, modify it back out to the real levels that it's been hanging out on right here. So we're going to take a look at this resistance level up here. And there's going to be, our trade's going to be designed around these support and resistance levels. A close below this trend line on the 60-minute chart, we'll look to go short. Close above that level right there on a 60-minute chart, we're going to go long. Key point to remember, take your profit very quickly. Interest rate on the euro and the pound today. You may not even want to trade any of the euro or pound based pairs. We usually don't. There's one specific trade that we trade using prior to the news, and we do some very specific scalping setups prior to the news. A lot of times we don't put any support resistance trades on here or any kind of indicator trades like with the MACD. Because interest rate announcements are pretty big, we've had two countries raise interest rates here recently. So it's not so much about whether or not the euro and the British pound are going to be raising rates as much as the language that they may be, right? For instance, on the Kiwi and the Aussie, they raised, but they said, oh, we're probably not going to do any more. So I think they're just trying to see what's going on in the market. So in keeping that in mind, you can transfer very easily to, like we said, maybe the dollar yen, the Aussie yen, the Kiwi yen, the Swiss yen, the CAD yen, but you might want to stay away from the European-based pairs for the trading session unless there's any very clear specific trade setups that you have. We have a couple that we like to use with our members in the live show that we do, but right now, support and resistance wise, the only thing we would absolutely look at support and resistance wise would be a close above this level here on a 60-minute chart for a long and a close below this level here on a 60-minute chart for a short. But overall, our recommendation to you would be on the euro and the pound dollar to most likely stand aside and look at some of those other pairs. If you've never traded them, look at some of the tools that we teach you. Take some of the tips that we've traded and taught you over the last couple months. Extrapolate those over into those yen pairs, and don't trade them with real money by any means. We're not saying that. But begin to get a feel of them and realize you can trade any currency anyway at any time, right? We constantly prove to people you can have one trading technique, and we show them constantly in our live show. You can trade any of the currency pairs, even the thin ones, even the thinnest crazy ones you wouldn't expect to trade. You can trade options, futures, equities. There's all kinds of things you can trade with the exact same system across every market. Very important that you get that concept. And that's when the power of trading really comes into your hand, folks, is when you realize with a simple concept of trading, you can trade the entire world markets become open to you. The importance of that, you can then not just manage your trading account, but all of your assets that are in the markets, including your retirement accounts. Very, very powerful to be able to understand that, grasp it, accept it, and implement it. So those are the two trades we're going to be looking at, maybe possibly for the pound dollar on the hourly chart, any kind of those closes, but most likely we're going to leave it alone because of the interest rate announcements. That's what we're thinking about for the pound dollar for the upcoming November the 5th session.